Derek, how are you, man? Good to chat with you again. How's it going?
Yeah, yeah. How you doing?
Not too bad, not too bad. So
Yeah,
we talked about a year ago on the record about the last record at the time, which was Rome Wasn't Built in a Day, and that
yeah,
was it was like a year ago. So now here we are again talking about when the world stops.
yeah.
The world must have stopped or something happened. You got a brand new record out. You're working harder than ever. So I want to hear about this. First of all, talk to me a bit about the transition. We did the you did the Rome Wasn't Built in a Day record. You did that on a different record label. Now you're with a new album, a new record label,
hmm
Kaivo Records. Am I saying it right?
Yeah, you're saying it right.
Kaivo
Okay.
Records.
Actually, no, I think it's Kibble Records.
Kivo Records. I want to make sure I get it right for them,
He's
obviously.
corrected me a couple times.
Okay, nice, nice. So what talk to me a bit about the change. What made you change record labels? How this kind of started? What first of all, when you left the last label, you had the great record. What made you decide to go with a different label this time?
Uh, it was weird. We got offered three different deals by three different labels,
Right.
and so and one was Paris with Tom, one was Cleopatra, and the other one was Kibble, and we just sat down as a band and looked through the offers and seen what that we thought that might fit us the best at the particular time. It wasn't anything derogatory to say about Paris because Paris is we work with Paris for multiple albums, and
Right.
Tom's he's a great guy. Tom Mather's the president of Paris Records. He's a great guy. Um, so it had nothing to do with anything like that. It just happened to be with at the particular time we just sat down and felt like we wanted to try another label to see what would happen.
Hmm. Did you how do you feel about the last record about Rome Wasn't Built in a Day? Were you happy with the results? Were you happy with how it was promoted? Were you happy with how it was put out there?
Yeah, I think I'm really happy, because we hadn't made an album since 2017 from on Frontier Records,
Yeah.
you know. So it'd been quite a while since we made a record, and all that COVID crap hit and everything and kind of slowed everything down and pushed everything back. So it's pretty excited to get back on the horse and start riding again. And you know, we're really happy with it, to be honest with you. I mean, we had a lot of songs to choose from, and some of the songs, a few of them ended up on this record, you know.
Okay.
Uh, the, yeah, yeah. I mean, 100%, really happy.
So this is a band effort I saw. I was looking through the liner notes of this one. I saw everyone contributed to this record. So talk to me about the genesis of that. You get off the tour, I guess, for Rome Wasn't Built in a Day last year. You played Whiskey, a bunch of great places, had some great shows.
Yeah.
You guys decided to get in the studio, start doing some writing. Tell me about how that kind of came together and what maybe direction you had for this record that was maybe different from the last one.
I don't really think there was anything different in direction wise from the last one. It was basically kind of like a continuation of the last one. Um, Same type of themes, same type of mindset in my songwriting and my lyrical content, that type of thing. But I made sure that everybody was able to contribute. I kept telling those guys for like a year and a half before even Rome, give me your material, give me your material, give me your material,
Right.
because the more material I have to work with, the better I could. If I have like say 40 pieces of music to work with, I could say, okay, I like these 10 or whatever, or
Right.
some of them are mine. So I picked the best ones that I thought that each one of the guys sent me, the music to, the demos of the music that they'd been doing. So yeah, it was just basically a continuation of Rome Wasn't Built in a Day, because Dylan writes, the drummer, he writes.
Hmm.
Craig writes a little bit. John writes all the time, and so does Ron, guitar parts anyways.
Right.
So it's pretty easy when you got a plethora of people writing,
Yeah.
music. You've got your own stuff too at the same time. It's not hard to put together a 10-song album pretty quick.
Yeah, it's a nice problem to have for sure when you have a bountiful a bountiful amount to pick from, for
Yeah,
sure.
exactly.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but is this the first record of Craig and Dylan that they've contributed to, or were they on the last one?
No, they both had um, a song on the last one. I
Yeah.
think it was Crashed Into the Sun.
Okay.
Yeah, and Ron and John, of course, had credits too.
Mm. For those that don't know, this is you have a new drummer and a new bassist, of course. We're talking about Craig and Dylan
Mhm.
Soto.
Yeah.
They joined in time for the last record, like you said. Um, How are you?
They actually joined in 2023 when we released the live album, and we wanted to go tour
Oh,
behind the live album.
oh, it's back
Black
that far. Okay,
Lightning.
so they've been there for a bit of time. Yeah.
Yeah, so the 3 years, you know.
Okay, 3 years. Yeah, and they're fitting in good. They're working out with you as well.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
man. From the very first practice that we ever had with those guys, first edition, it was like walked in the room, and Ron had been jamming with them, you know, for a while
Mm.
on another project, and he said, "I got the guys, man. All you got to do is you and John just got to show up, and I'm positive you guys are going to like these guys." So we came to his house where he's got a rehearsal studio, and man, we kicked off 9 songs just like that. I mean, Bangle the Bells,
Wow.
Hammers, all the classics, and it was flawless and effortless. You know, they had the parts down just like that, like if they'd been in the band for 20
Yeah,
years.
like they were there. They just fit right in. They slid right into
Yeah, it
it, right?
wasn't like,
Yeah.
well, you know, the part goes like this, man,
Yeah.
or you're
Or
playing the
reteach
wrong
them or
note.
show them. Yeah. They must have
Yeah.
been fans. Would you say they were fans of the band from back in the
Hmm.
day? Did they hear you
Yep.
guys? Did they kind of grow up
Yep.
with you guys?
Yep. And that's exactly why. You know, Dylan's only 25 years old, so it's funny listen to his story because his mom and dad were fans of our band.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so he's a little kid, little toddler, and he remembers Bangle the Bells and Hammer Swings Down and, you know, the Babylon AD albums in his house all the time being played.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. It's like a band you love, and then one day you grow up to join it too. I know Rob DeLuca, Spread Ego, was talking about that when he joined UFO. It was a band he loved in high school, and now he's in the band. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
it's almost never happens,
exactly.
like a Tommy
Exactly.
Thayer thing.
Right.
Fun times.
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier the lyrical content of the new record. Something I was listening or thinking about when I was listening to it the other day is that there seems to be, I know it's not a real theme of the record, but there seems to be, and I'll comment on this and hopefully maybe you can tell me otherwise, but it seems like there's a lot of heartbreak or a lot of like breakup songs or bad love songs, love gone bad songs. So that's something that was just in your head at that time. Hopefully you're not going
Uh,
through a breakup in real life.
no, I wasn't really going through a breakup. I would say you know, a lot of times I take other people's stories and maybe they sound like mine. I mean, of course, I've lived through that before. You know what I
Right.
mean? And usually, what I do is I'll listen to the music and see how it hits me. You know what I mean? What does it make me feel like or whatever? Well, this song sounds like a breakup song, or this song sounds like you know, I'm gonna get you back. You know,
Yeah.
maybe there's
Revenge.
a little.
Yeah.
I always try to put a little twist in there, a little knife
Yeah.
back in there. You know, uh,
This is my shot. This is my retaliation.
exactly that
Yeah.
type
Yeah.
of stuff. You know,
Yeah.
but I understand what you're saying. I think there's 4 or 5 songs that have that type of theme contact. One of them, "Sadness Madness."
Oh, I love that song.
Actually,
Yeah.
the weirdest thing about that song, man, is that was the very first song that me and John ever wrote. I'm talking like 1987.
Really.
We
Way
had
before the
that song.
debut, way before you were signed.
We had that song on a demo tape forever,
Oh my God.
forever. And it was the first song that we ever recorded, like on a little 2-track in a bathroom, you know, with Jamie, our older drummer.
Yeah, yeah.
And we always liked the song. I always said, "Man, this is a good song. We just got to produce it and you know, do something with it."
It's a great
So when we
song.
started choosing songs, I threw out that idea, you know, and I let Craig and Dylan and Ron remembered the song, and they're going, "Man, this is a good song, you know. Let's just do a demo tape of it and see what happens." So we did a demo tape of it, and we were like, "Yes, we're gonna put this song on the record." It may be 30 years old, but
You
you
wouldn't
know,
know. It sounds like it was freshly recorded too, and that goes back to your voice. I want to talk about that later, but this sounds fresh, like it belongs right here, like it fits in. Like it
yeah,
sounds like
yeah,
you just,
it fits a record, and it's very melodic, you know, and the
yeah.
harmony leads that John has and everything like that, you know. So yeah, so every song is a little bit of a story, you know.
Did you re-record your voice for this, or is it your voice now, or did you take some of the demo and just add parts to it? Can you
Oh,
reconstruct it a bit?
no, I sounded like a little kid singing this song on the demo.
Well, that's my point. I was going to go back to that. So basically, is that you sound as strong as ever. I'm not just saying that because you're sitting here in front of me. I told you that last time too, and it's true. Like your voice on this record seems like it's no time has passed. Like the world has stopped. I don't know what it is, how you how you take good care of yourself, but it just sounds as strong as ever. The melodies, the way they sound, it reminds me a lot of the debut record. The way you just had your vocal melodies in there. So I wondered if you kind of try to harken back to that a little bit, or if you kind of re-recorded that, or if you just had that album in mind when you recorded this one, the debut I'm talking about.
No, I just like whenever I'm recording Babylon AD, I just in my head I gotta stick to the Derek Davis Babylon AD kind of singing. You know what I mean?
Blueprint, yeah.
Exactly. That's a blueprint. Kind of stay in that. I try to get a little bit more soulful whenever I can. You know, make maybe on a song like "I Don't Believe in You." You know, I sang that really kind of
Love is
blue
cruel.
soulful. You know, I try to fit my vocal tone and my inflections, and if I'm going to have any kind of grit or whatever, to however the song fits,
Mhm.
however it sounds in my head. You know what I mean? Instead of just singing everything the same way, all the time. But at the same time, I'm totally aware that I got to stay in like the Babylon AD kind of box. You know
Right.
what I mean? I can't pull out all of a sudden some James Brown in the
Yeah,
middle of
exactly. Yeah.
the song,
You got to stay
throw
with
the
what
audience
actually,
off.
yeah,
I'll leave
exactly.
that for another album, my soul album. You know what
I'm
I
waiting for
mean?
that too. Yeah. Solo record, a good time to stretch out for that for sure.
Mhm.
So talk to me a bit about, I guess, well, let's talk about your voice again real quick. So how do you keep it in shape? How do you feel like you've been able to maintain it so much for these years? Because you obviously tour a lot and you recorded new records. How do you feel like it's changed over the years, but how do you keep it in such great shape so you can go back and sing the old classics whenever you're on tour?
um, completely honest, man, I don't do shit.
Hey,
I
that's
don't
fine. There's a
do
lot of
anything.
singers I've
I
talked to
don't do
that don't do
anything
nothing.
except for I
Yeah.
don't even warm up before a show.
Really?
I might go, hey, hey, or something like that. But usually the first song for me is my warm up, kind of like.
Right.
And I'll drink, a couple shots of whiskey and maybe throw a cough drop in my mouth if I've been singing for 3 or 4 days.
Hmm.
But that's it, and then maybe I'll have a shot of whiskey about halfway through. For some reason, the whiskey for me coats my throat a little bit, kind of like, it
Yeah,
just
yeah.
makes it,
Like strengthens it or keeps it like,
I don't know, I could
yeah,
sing longer, it opens up my vocal cords,
right.
and I think it makes my voice a little bit more rougher, more like a not Rod Stewart, but at least I'm able to get grit real easy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true. You have the grit. You have a good balance. I noticed that on a track like Suki, there's a lot of grit on that song versus a song like Love Is Cruel or maybe The Power of Music. The Power of Music to me, we'll talk about that single. Of course, it's the latest single, but that's the one that reminds me the most of the debut record. So you can see the difference of your voice. It's still that Babylon AD sound. When you hear this sound, this is Derek. This is his singing, but the differences of the grit versus the smoothness, they're
Yeah,
pretty transparent on this record, I found.
yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem at all. It's really good. So
Okay,
let's
you
talk
notice.
about, sorry, what was that?
I appreciate you notice that.
I did for sure. Yeah, it's there's different pieces of this album I noticed that are kind of going back to the debut. There's some things that remind me of Nothing Sacred. There's some things that remind me of American Blitzkrieg, which we talked about. I said that's one of
Oh
my
yeah,
favorite records. That record he did in '02, which was just fantastic. That I know nobody knows about, but it's great.
yeah. That's one of my favorite records, songwriting wise. Anyways, I wish the production came out a little bit better, but we
I
didn't
know,
really know what the hell we were doing at that time. You know what I mean?
but it
All
fits that
the,
record though.
what's that?
It fits that record though. That record, American Blitzkrieg, that production fits it. Like I wouldn't want to hear it any other way now. If you went back and remixed it, remastered, I would be like, oh, what the hell is this? I think it's
Probably,
that
yeah.
piece in time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. It was like, that was a time when everybody was switching from analog to digital, It was like,
Yeah.
what is this whole new digital thing? How do we do recording?
He's like, no,
So
just
it
run
was a
tape.
big experimentation on our part, but I thought all the songs were really good on that album.
Yeah, absolutely. They were. So people who don't know, they can go and check it out. Is it still available? Can people buy it? Is it on streaming? Do you know?
Yeah, it's out there. I mean, anybody could get it
I have
streaming
it on
now.
CD, but I know streaming's the way
Spotify.
now. Yeah, Spotify.
I see it all the time on eBay for sale, you
Yeah,
know.
I've seen it too. I wish you got royalties from that when they sell it. People should buy it from the real links, but at least people are
Yeah.
hearing it. That's all you can do now is get people to hear it.
Yeah, actually Paris had that one for quite a while.
Oh, really?
Um,
Didn't know.
yeah, it was on Paris for quite a while, but he sold out a long time ago.
Okay. Yeah, if
That's
people
a
can
pretty
find
rare
it.
one. You could get it, you could get it all the digital sites and Spotify and all that crap.
Yeah, yeah. Be nice if you guys got it back. You can sell it physically and you can have it too as well. That'd be great. It's not
Yeah,
easy.
it's hard to sell CDs nowadays. A lot of
I
the
know.
Big West still buys them, and over there in the UK they still buy them. You know what I mean? But
Japan, UK, yeah, a lot of those places they have CDs for sure. Yeah.
yeah, but over in the States, man, I don't know. But selling CDs is really hard. It's pretty. Yeah, you sell as many albums as you do CDs now. You
Yeah,
know?
LPs. Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk a bit about the new single Power of Music. So a lot of the songs like that you can find that people, talk about rock. Everyone likes to talk about rock, the music, and let's be honest, sometimes those songs are a little bit cheesy. They can be a little bit cliche. Again, not
Exactly.
exactly, but again, not saying this because you're sitting in front of me, but listening to the lyrics, this one has a really good feel. Like I love the melodies of it. I like the way the message is. It's a simple message, but the way you did it with your voice and the songwriting strength of you guys really shows through on this. So
Yeah.
talk to me about what inspired, besides the power of music, what it generally is. Like, was there something that specifically inspired you to write a song like this that, try your
Well,
hand at it?
no, I came up with the riff here in the studio on my guitar, and I just started thinking like, what haven't I always wanted to kind of write a song about the history of music somehow,
Yeah.
and
Your
then
love
went
of
on.
music, the power, what it brings to you.
Yeah, what it does for you, for your soul, for your being, I mean, music really, man, if you think about it, uh other than, books and things like that, especially older books, classic books and stuff, music is something that everybody experiences different, you know,
Yeah.
and means different. You could have the same song and it could mean a different thing to 100 different people, but as long as there's a message that is universal, I think I think that that particular song comes across really well. And the way that I recorded it and the way that I envisioned it in my head was, even if you listen to that song and you listen to the production of it, and then you
Mhm.
went to like one of our other songs, you'd hear different production, totally different.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because
I get
that
it.
song I used like a 1960s reverb on it, on the
Really.
whole thing. Yeah. So I
Okay.
wanted that 1968 kind of reverby, it's not a reverb you get nowadays that people use. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I wanted it to have that sound of like, man, it's the Rolling Stones in 68 or something. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
Hendrix
Like
or
when rock was like really kicking off, like when we really got the genesis of rock, the Beatles, the Stones. I mean,
yeah. So if you really listen to it and you hear, especially the choruses and stuff like that, it really
yeah.
sounds like, wow, man, you're in this kind of it makes you travel back in time. You know what I mean? That's what reverb could really do, because it's just another way of putting space in music, and using it like another a tool, musical tool, an instrument. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I was really happy with that song. Happy with the lyrics too, because I was able to say some stuff, about, because soul music has really affected my life. Rock and roll music has really affected my life, and I think that God, be honest with you, is in my
Hmm.
life and has helped me since I was a child in music. So,
You mentioned all those in the
I believe
song.
in rock and
You
roll,
believe in rock
Motown
and roll.
soul.
Yeah. The
Right?
lyrics
God
do
made music.
exactly. And
And
that's,
he's the soul.
yeah, exactly. It's a beautiful song. God made music and brought it to us. And that's why I feel like this is, a little bit different than other songs like that, because it seems personal. It seems a little bit autobiographical. I
Yeah.
can't say that word. Autobiographical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is and it is and it isn't, because like I said
Autobiographical.
before,
There we
it's
go.
universal, right?
Yeah,
The power
exactly.
of music is strong, man. And I think this is a really good melody too, where it's pretty hooky,
Yeah.
like off the bat, you're kind of moving, and when you hit the chorus, it's like everybody could sing along. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
First time you hear it, right? That's what it seems like to me, anyways.
Hmm.
And the way I do it, after I'm done producing a song, I won't listen to some songs for like shit, I don't know, 2 months or something, you know.
Really?
Then I'll go back and listen, even though it's in my head what it was at the time I'm done mixing it, and then I'll know if it's a good song or not, because a lot of times I go, oh man, that song's not as good as I thought it was, or whoa, that song's way better than I thought it was when I was mixing it. You know what I
Yeah, yeah,
mean?
yeah. That's a
And
good thing to
that
have.
was one of those, because we had Power of Music. Actually, I demoed that song for the last album, but
Okay.
we actually just thought it was like a pretty good song. As a band, we are like, yeah, it's pretty good. I don't know if we should do it for this album. Well, I don't know, it's pretty good, that kind of thing. But then when I mixed the song from the demo and everything, and we had the guys play it, it just became alive.
Hmm.
With their guitar playing and everything, and the bass and the real drums and everything like that. It just came alive.
Yeah, and it fits perfectly on this record too. You guys released it as a single. Was this Kill Records' decision or yours to release it as a single? They felt strongly behind it, about it.
No, it's different. Record companies work a little bit different now. They put out your record and everything, but basically, we are the label. You know, it's kind of like it's like a licensing deal. Like, here you go. Here's some material. You can put it out on your CD. You know,
Hmm.
and do some marketing and things like that. But as far as the the choosing the songs and all that kind of stuff, that's a band decision. It always has been. Except for when we were on Arista, when we had no
Yeah, I
control
was
at
gonna
all.
say back in the first day, I think Clive decided what you were gonna release or something like that, right? Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah, it
yeah,
was totally different then. But
yeah.
nowadays, it's one of the things we put in all our contracts. You can't use our image without us telling you. You
Right.
can't use any songs, make a video or do a single or something without us, saying yes, that kind of thing. So of course we talk to the label and we say, hey, we want to do this one, we want to do that one. You know, I know that Kibble Records really wanted us to do Power of Music second instead of Love Is Cruel. You
Right.
know, so we released when the world stops, right?
Yeah, the first one.
Did
Yeah,
up track tempo, and then they wanted us to do power music next, and I was like, no, 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 let's do a ballad,
let's
then we'll do power
bring it
music.
down like a little flow, like a ebb
Yeah,
and flow to it. Yeah,
right. And so now we're trying to think about what the fourth one is going to be, and I think it's going to be When the Damage is Done, because that's a really good.
with the
That's
acoustic intro. Yeah, it's really
yeah,
cool.
it's a
Yeah,
good track, man.
yeah,
You know.
that is a really good track too, for
And,
sure.
and sometimes what happens is like, so we have a guy, a radio guy, Tim Binder, that works with us, and he'll give the whole record to certain radio stations where they
Mhm.
can play, instead of just a single, they can play the whole thing. So he gets good feedback with like, hey man, I'm playing this track a lot. You know what I mean? Or I'm playing that track a lot.
Right,
You
they'll
know?
choose which one they want to play, and then which one hits with the audience, or which one they go back
Mhm.
to, and they can
Yeah,
kind of pick it too. Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
no, that's good.
That
Y-
helps out with the, kind of like a research a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, basically, like, what's it called? It's there's a research crowd. You can go and put it in front of people like a test subjects and see who responds better to what kind of thing. Like
Exactly.
market research. That's what I was looking
Yeah,
for.
it's like
Big
marketing
words. Yeah,
research without,
marketing
yeah,
research.
yeah,
Yeah,
without really, asking, hey, what do you think? It's just kind of
yeah.
like,
Just leave it
that.
out there and let people choose for themselves, kind of thing. Like, oh, I like this, or I could care for this one better than this one. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
So let me ask you about that. So with this, with your new deal, basically you have total autonomy, you have total control versus having a big machine behind you. How do you feel, I guess, about that? It's nice to have your own control. No one can use your image without you. You pick the singles, you pick how the band is directed versus a big major label pushing you in one direction they feel fits. There's pluses and minuses to both. Do you feel like this way it is now for the record companies and the way things are now is better for you as a band versus how it was? How do you personally feel about it now?
Well, I mean, there's no going backwards anymore. Those big labels don't exist anymore for
Right.
for hard rock, for rock. You know what I mean? You've got a
Yeah.
few of them that
Unless you're
are.
Taylor Swift or somebody
Yeah,
massive,
you're
Bruno
not going to get
Mars,
on any of those
you're not
labels.
getting anything. Yeah.
You got to be the size of Megadeth or Metallica
Metallica, yeah.
to
Supersize.
still be on a major label.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Proven track record that goes back years, and just you're not going to be a brand new band that's a hard rock band that's going to get a major label deal.
Right.
You got to do it all yourself at least first, and prove to them like, look, we sold 100,000 records on our own, and then they go, wow,
Yeah.
but that's just not the case no more. And the audience, like anything else, it changes, man. you know so we do what we can to stay alive, man. To keep the band's name alive, to keep the songs out there. And as long as we just keep on writing and moving forward, you just keep pushing on, you know.
Hmm.
And it doesn't matter if you're on a major label or a minor label. All the a bigger label, such as maybe you can't really call them a bigger label, but they do have a lot of good acts. Like Cleopatra's got a lot of acts, right?
Right.
Frontier Records has a lot of acts. We were
They have a
on that.
million acts. Yeah. They have a million
But
acts and get
other than
lost in the
those two
shuffle.
labels and maybe one other more, you're just not gonna really penetrate anything more than you could do on yourself, you know? So why
Yeah.
not have 100% total control and make all the money instead of
Right. Yeah,
somebody,
exactly. And instead of sharing it with someone
somebody
else
else making the money and
who
just give you a
controls
small.
you. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and they don't want to give you big advances anymore either,
No,
you
that's
know?
true.
So and that was a big part of getting record label deals back in the day. You get that big $200,000 record advance. You're like, yeah.
Exactly. But then they own
Now they're
what
just
they're
like,
gonna
hey,
do
maybe
with
it's
you.
20,000. You're like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah,
It's
it's not the
my
same.
guys. I don't know, man.
Yeah. You can't buy as many groceries. It's not the same.
Yeah.
So basically with that, then what inspires you to keep writing new Babylon AD music? Because there's a lot of bands like yourself that can go out and tour, do the Weekend Warrior stuff, live on the classics, live on the first two records, but you guys keep making new music since 2017. What inspires you guys to keep writing new music out there, knowing that's going to hit with your hardcore fans? You can play a few at shows, but what drives you to keep writing new stuff and putting it out there?
Well, I'm always writing. So, and usually when I'm writing, there's really not no,
Agenda?
I don't sit down and go, hey man, I'm going to write a Babylon AD song. You know what I mean? That
Right.
don't happen. I'll just pick up the guitar and I'll start fooling around, and I'll look for melodies and things, and come up with the song. And if it fits in the Babylon AD house, then it fits in the Babylon AD house. If it fits in the Derek Davis house, then it fits in the Derek Davis house. You know what I mean? And the more that these guys can write and give me songs, it's easier. So honestly, I really haven't got any batches from those guys since this record's been released, right?
Right.
But I've written about 3 songs, since the record's been released in September that are possible Babylon AD songs. But I won't know till I get, the rest of the material from these guys. Next album might take 2 albums, 2 years to come out. You know what I mean? In the meantime, I just write my own stuff, and I've got a soul album that's going to be coming out, and I've got a couple hard rock singles that are going to be coming out in the next couple months. That are in the Babylon AD vein, but a little bit outside the box of Babylon AD because they're just a little bit
Right.
different.
Those are released under your name. That's the Derek Davis music then, right? Those ones. Okay.
But it still kind of sounds like Babylon AD, but it's just it's not. I don't know how to explain it.
No, I get you. I get you. Has it always been the case like that since the whole history of the band when it comes to writing? Like, let's go back to the first record. Like when you first started writing that record, you had John there at one point as well too, who's with the band now. But was it always the case where the other members came in, gave you stuff, and you were just writing along and they added to it, or has it changed, evolved differently as far as how the band gets involved in the songs as the
It's
years
always
on?
been the same. I just ask for demo tapes, and sometimes I ask over and over and over again. I'm like, come on, man, give me some ideas, man. It's like pulling teeth sometimes, and I'll get, three ideas over a 6 months period and stuff. And for me, as a guitar player too, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, man, if I was a guitar player and this is just in my head, you know what I mean? If I was a guitar player, I'd be shredding every day to try to figure out, hey, I got another song on an album, I got another credit. I got, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But, these guys give me about, I'd say average six ideas a year, and I'm producing like, toot my own horn, but maybe 30 ideas a year.
Right, and you're the singer too. I think people forget that too, is that you're the singer, so you're the focal point of the songs, like the singing of the songs, Babylon AD songs. But you're also a guitar player. You play guitar. I think people forget that. Do you find that?
Yeah, probably. And when we play live, I'll throw out the acoustic and stuff like that. But I mean, I'm not going to say I'm as good as John or Ron or Danny playing lead guitar and stuff like that, but I can hold my own. You know what I mean? So, and I always search for just the best melody, man. The best melody. I don't need a shredding lead that's all over the place, unless it has melody, like Eddie Van Halen had melody in all his leads. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like a song within a song.
And you sing the lead. That's what you want to do. You want people to go away after they hear the song a couple times. For instance, like Hotel California. How could you forget that lead, right?
Yeah.
And if you think about it, it's at
the
end of the song, right?
Yeah.
They have all this.
The outro, the fade out. Yeah.
Song. And then
another brick in the wall too. Another thing like that too. We have that guitar that leads out.
There's this lead for 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
How many songs are like that? Hardly none.
Yeah.
You still got to have a good, memorable lead to be able to hook people's minds. You know what I mean? And that's the kind of leads that I like. Even when we're doing recording here, John and Ron, they'll come up with ideas, but I'd say half the time I'm the guy that slows them down just a little bit. Hey, man, why don't we try going this way a little bit here so that somebody could grasp onto these 5 notes instead of these 40 notes.
Right. Instead of hitting them with everything right at once, just like that. Right. Obviously. Yeah.
And every guitar player wants to just shred, but it's like, everybody's doing that. Let's say something, let's listen to Pink Floyd, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's no shredding. It's just all talking.
Yeah, absolutely. Never thought of it that way. The guitar just talks to you.
Yeah.
Do you feel like there's competition in a good way when you guys are playing guitar? Let's say you're playing guitar, the other 2 guys are playing guitar as well. Do they want to kind of, you play something they like, they want to kind of match it? Do you feel like there's some kind of healthy competition when you guys are all playing guitar together to kind of outmatch each other in a good way, obviously?
No, I don't think it's any kind of competition at all. I mean, we worked together
inspiration.
For so long. Like we're able to sit in a room, and as Ron's putting down his lead guitar part, maybe he just has like an outline of like, I'm thinking about this, and he'll shred a little while, and then I might say, well, why don't you, throw a couple of these in there that, these notes here in this box or whatever. And John might go, what if you put a couple bends on that one note that you had? Cause that was really cool. And we'll kind of experiment as all 3 of us in the room together, collaborating and making the person's lead just that much better. Cause now you have 3 guitar players all saying, okay, wait a minute now, let's get a hook right here on this part. Let's do this, let's do that. Instead of just one guy just doing everything. It just takes a little bit longer like that, I think, because you're,
You're going back and fine tuning things and going back and trying it again, trying it a different way. This sounds better than this. That's how it
Hmm.
sounds on this whole record. It sounds like you guys took the time to really carefully craft this record to kind of make it even better than it could be. Because you could just go out there or just go in the studio, make these songs, and then here's a melody. This melody works. It fits with this guitar part. Done. Here's a lyric. Boom. It sounds like real time was taken to make the melodies even stronger than they could be. The guitar harmonies, the parts, the writing, the playing, the drumming. Every
Yeah,
little piece feels like it was redone again. Not to say you overproduced it, you know what I mean? But it just sounds like
I know what
more
you mean.
time was
Yeah.
taken
Yeah, and
to
a
craft
lot
it.
of times, the last couple albums, I'll add keyboards, but real subtle.
Right.
'Cause we're
Just
not a
something low
keyboard.
in the background to catch the
Yeah,
listener's ear a bit. That's how I
you
felt
know.
as a listener, not a musician, but just as a fan. It just sounds like more time was taken on this, which really
Yeah,
shows through.
yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Not a problem
Appreciate
at
that,
all.
man.
Not a problem at all. So with the time that we have left, we're running out of time on Zoom, obviously. But talk to me a bit about what's coming up for a busy 2026 for you guys, tour wise, where the album is going. You have a new single that's going to be coming out. After that, talk to me a bit about, I guess, what the plans are for the rest of the year. We're just in the start of the year of 2026. What's the rest of the
Yeah.
2026 looking like for Babylon AD?
Well, right now, our manager, they're we're looking for a tour. We're talking with a couple different bands to do some mini tours with. We've already been offered a tour in the UK, but we just haven't committed to anything yet. I guess that's what you say.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, when we got back from Greece in late October, or whatever, everybody was pretty burned out. Even the record just came out. For us, it was like we'd already been living it for a whole year,
Oh, I thought
recording
that was
it.
your vacation. I didn't know you were working out there.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Wow.
it was fun and everything like that. But by the time you get back, it's like, I personally, to tell you the truth, we talked about it. So let's don't book no gigs for a little while, like 3 or 4 months, because we've been gigging since I think July or March or something like that of last year. I can't even remember.
You guys have been busy on the road. Yeah. I've been seeing the
Yeah,
posts. Yeah.
so
You guys are out there.
everybody's kind of a little burned out, and everybody wanted a little bit of personal time. And then you
Right.
got Thanksgiving, then you got Christmas, then you got the New Year's, you
Right.
know. So right now we don't have nothing set in stone. We're just working on some stuff. Our manager's looking for some things and some opportunities, but we know we're going to put out another single pretty soon, and another video, another single. And at the same time,
Damage
I'm
is done. Right.
I'm gonna have yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
have two songs come out in the next 3 months. There'll be two different rock songs that, like I said, are in the vein of Babylon AD, but not Babylon AD. And then I have a Revolutionary Soul Part Two gonna come out probably around July. A soul rock
Okay.
album. You know,
Oh, nice.
so
But
I'm
yeah,
staying busy.
you're staying busy for sure. For those who don't know, talk to me a bit real quick about your solo music, where people can check it out, and basically what you bring to the table that's different from Babylon AD.
Well, I'm always experimenting with music, but my forte, outside of Babylon AD is soul and blues. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and like a lot, I write a lot of pop songs to be honest with you too, man. You know what I mean? That sound really pop. You'd go, it could be a Babylon AD song, but and sometimes
Yeah.
I'll even show these guys. They'll go, man, that's a great song, but dude, that song's a pop song. You know what I mean?
That sounds like a 1989 record label push for radio.
That's a psychedelic sex reaction song.
Yeah.
Do we want to do that
Oh,
one?
there you go. Yeah. Forgot about that one too. Yeah.
Kind
Great
of,
record though. Yeah.
yeah. So,
But
yeah,
it gives you the freedom, like you said, to write how you feel when it's under Derek Davis music versus Babylon AD, the banner, the brand, obviously.
exactly. I mean, I've got some really good ballads in my pocket that I've written the last 2 or 3 years, on piano and acoustic and things like that. Actually, I counted it up yesterday, and I was like, wow, I got 19 songs out here that are all produced and ready to go.
Wow.
Where do I start? You know what I mean?
It's a good problem to have.
Which one do I release first? Do I do a video? You know, some my wife says I spend too much time in the studio. So
That's how it sounds. Talk about the power of music. You definitely have it. You're inspired. The power of music is actually you. It is Derek Davis because you're always writing, creating. Like you said, you're always inspired. Where do you, if you're out and about and you're out in your studio and you have an inspiration, how do you keep track of it? Do you keep it in your head? How do you remember it?
phone.
Oh, the phone. Yeah, you
You
got
know that
riffs in your
thing, the
phone.
power of music. I believe in rock and roll. I'm like, yeah, that sounds good. You
Oh,
know,
there we go. And that's
and
how
then
that happened, right?
it might be 2 months later. Oh, I
Yeah.
think I had a cool song. Let me hear. Oh, that sounds, yeah, okay. You know what I mean? And then I'll write. That's how I wrote when the world stops. Ron gave
Title
me the
track.
piece of music, and I went to Mexico, and I was there on vacation And all the way driving, we had about a 5 hour drive to our destination from the airport.
Right.
And I just listened to it and put my headphone on. And next thing I know, I'm writing lyrics. And my wife said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm writing a song."
You're
She said,
working.
"How could you write a song in the car?" I said, "I don't know, but I'm doing it. I'm getting
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
melody, I'm getting the lyrics." And by the time we were done with the vacation, I had the whole song done. I came home 2 days later. I had it demoed, sent it to the guys, and said, "Here you go, man. This is the first single." And everybody went, "Yeah."
Wow. Nice. Yeah. The whole songwriting process, we could get into that another time. It's so fascinating to me. This stuff I could ask you a million times, but we only have so much time. We can stop the world and talk more about that another time for sure.
Cool.
Before I let you go, man, talk to me about where people can pick up the record, stream it, download it, Kibble Records. How can people get their hands on it, however they choose?
Yeah. Well, to be honest with you, man, the very easiest way anybody could get our stuff, they don't even have to go to Spotify or Amazon or anything. They just go to babylonadband.com because you just press the button, the CD or the digital, and it's all there. And then it takes them to all the links like a tree, right?
Okay.
They can
Like the
get anywhere.
merch, like all the stuff. Yeah. The
Everything's
tour
merged into
packages. Yeah.
one. I mean,
Okay.
but of course, nowadays, I mean, you just put it in Google and you just put "When the World Stops," boom, it'll
That's
be right
true.
there.
People forget how to use the Google machine. Sometimes they forget how to look up things, but it's
Yeah,
always
yeah.
good to
It'll
direct
take it
people.
right there. You just put
Yeah.
Amazon, Power of Music, boom, there it
That's
is.
right there.
Yeah.
Is there vinyl? Is there LPs of this record or the last one?
We
Forgot to ask
got
you.
the last one we made vinyl, and we sold out of those quick, man,
Nice.
really quick. And we got approached about maybe a month ago by a company wanting to do it, and we started negotiating in the negotiating tactics of how long they were going to have the album for sale, licensing right, and all this kind of stuff. And then you start getting your legal people involved, and man, next thing you know, man, you're like, "Geez, does it really have to go this far? We're just trying to throw some vinyl out there."
Yeah,
mean,
exactly.
I mean, we could do it ourselves, and it's not that expensive, but it's a little bit easier when another company that has done it more experienced, and they could throw out a couple thousand of them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Um, and then they'll give us like 500 to sell, and we get make money off that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because
So
everybody's on the vinyl kick now. So usually everybody who does, some people are doing tape cassettes too, if you remember those. But I mean,
I
everyone's using,
know
myself
I heard
included.
about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Is
guess
it gonna
Taylor
be?
Swift's doing that or something like that.
Yeah, it's
Started.
crazy. That's how I discovered your band. It was a tape cassette that I got from a friend of my mom's, actually. So talk about parents getting you into a band and getting kids into a band. It was 10 years too late, unfortunately, but it was I got it. That's all that matters, and it's been all downhill since then. But it's great,
Well,
man.
this
Derek,
is the album, right? When the World
that's
Stops.
the new one. Yeah, for people watching video, you can see it now. A little live demonstration from Derek,
Yeah, there it is.
unboxing. Very nice, very
That's what
cool.
it looks like.
Yeah, artwork is amazing too. I don't know if I have enough time to ask you about it. I have a minute left. I can ask you quickly about the artwork, how that came together.
The artwork actually came together. Gosh damn it, what's his name? He's in a band. Uh, Jeez,
Everybody's
uh,
in a band.
I feel bad. Can't remember his name right now, but he's a good artist. He's in one of
You.
Kibbles bands on his label, and the guy's a good graphic artist. And we gave him the whole idea. This is what we want.
Mhm.
And we had some mock-ups done that we liked a lot. And we said, "Can you make something off of this and just make it even better?"
Right.
And he was able to do that, you know. So really, that's one thing about Kibble. They have good, really good packaging. The packaging is really good.
Encouraged to pick up the physical record, physical album.
Yeah, I
That's
think you
good.
get like 10 pages, all the lyrics. I mean,
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
pictures. I mean, all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
So it's just not a CD and that's it.
I know. As an old school fan, I love it very much. Derek, before it cuts off, I'm going to let you go. I appreciate you doing this chat and conversation. And next time you release a record, I'm giving you about another year to do it. I'll be back talking. Fuck.
Raise your hands to the power of music.